There is a purport from Bhagavad Gita. Can I have a volunteer to read this, please?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Pragya Mataji, go ahead.
Yes, I'll try to. I don't have my glasses with me, but yeah. The greatest peace formula is simply this. Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities. Men should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord, because he is the proprietor of all planets and the demigods thereon.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank
Shall
you.
I continue? Yeah. Okay.
No,
5.29 purport. The conditioned soul within the clutches of the illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world, but they do not know the formula for the peace, which is explained in this part of the Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this. Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities. Men should offer everything to the transcendental service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Pragya Mataji.
My pleasure.
So let's take a moment to reflect on this report. And let's look at our mind. Let us look at our consciousness. How much belief do we have that Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities? How much faith do I have that everything that's happening in my life is meant for my benefit? Everything that's happening in the world, Krishna has the benefit. He has in his mind to benefit everybody. This is a question of faith. Some of us grew up in families which are religious. We were told, wake up in the morning, do your puja, pay your obeisances, light a lamp, to put a rangoli at the front door. Why? Lamp. Let's take, for example, lighting a lamp. I mean, for most Indian households, it's a very common practice. We light lamp. And one of the reasons to light lamps is that it brings peace and prosperity. Why? So peace, it's a very, very broad word to understand. What does it mean? Peace. See, in this material world, according to Gita knowledge, there is no absolute peace in any activity that we do. That's why we're reading this purport, where it's like the simple formula is to believe that Krishna has the best interest for everybody, and we should offer everything to Krishna and realize that he's the controller of everything and everybody. He's the Jagannatha, he's the Lord of the universe. And he's my best friend, and he loves me. Simple, right? So simple. But then when we discuss concepts such as peace, this is a peace formula, right? The peace formula is that, just go to that verse. So peace is a very relative term when we think in terms of our life. So this is the Sanskrit verse of the peace formula shloka of Bhagavad Gita. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram supridam sarva bhutanam yatvanamam shanti mrichati. So Bhoktaram is beneficiary. And this is my favorite word here in this verse. Yagya. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam. So yagya and tapas. Okay, these two are very, very relevant for all of us. What I mean to say is, in order for us to achieve peace, we need to do some sacrifice. We need to do some austerity. We need to do some penance also. So this verse is connected to our activities as well. So when we light a lamp, it's called what? Deepadan, right? We say Deepdan. We don't just say burning a lamp. That's kind of modern way of saying it. In actual Vedic culture, it's called Deepdan. Yes, you can request the Lord for peace and prosperity, but you need to make a little sacrifice. You need to make a little seva there. You need to make a little dan there. So you burn the ghee wick and you pour ghee, and it's an offering. It's a yagya. Yagya. It's not a tapas exactly, but it's a yagya. But to do that every day consistently is a yagya, is a tapasya. So wake up early and do it. I was listening to a lecture by a Mataji, a lady of Madhva Sampradaya, and she's speaking about Purushottam month. And she's telling about all the rules and regulations of what all a woman is supposed to do in Purushottam month. She was saying it's a great sin to waste time in this period. You should wake up really early and you need to keep your house really clean, and you need to offer lamps, 33 lamps a day in this Purushottam month. You need to be doing fasting and so many of that. And then ultimately at the end, she was just saying, the point is to show to Krishna that I'm willing to offer my life, to offer the opulences that you've given me, the energy you've given me, the health that you've given me, everything that you've given me, a token of that. I express in the form of a maybe chanting extra rounds, maybe offering extra lamps, maybe doing parikram, maybe deity worship, whatever it is that your heart feels to do for the Lord. It's a way of telling Krishna, I love you. Krishna, I am grateful for everything that you have given me. So this little effort towards the Lord was given us everything. It's like there's a bhajan that says, Kerega neeranu kerege challi varava padeda varante kaaniru hariya karuna kodada bhagya hari samarpane maadi badukir Shri Purandara Vittalarayana Charana Kamalava Nambi Badukir Padumana Parama Purusha Paranjoti Swarupa. Kerega neeranu kerege chelli. When you go to Ganga, what's the best thing you can offer to Ganga? It's Ganga. There's nothing more pure you can give back to Ganga except Ganga water. And what is the best thing you can give to the Lord? Whatever He has given us, right? We cannot give Him anything extra. So then you may say, I used to ask my grandfather as a child, Krishna has everything, right? He's the beneficiary of all yagya and tapasya, all the austerities, everybody, the whole universe performs. He is the beneficiary. Even when Durvasa Muni was trying to look for who is the beneficiary of all the austerities and sacrifices the sages and saints perform, he went to Brahmaloka, then he found that Brahma is not fit for it. He went to Kailash, and then he thought Shiva is awesome. Then he went to Vaikuntha. And of course, there was a whole Leela there. But it was a proven fact that Bhaktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So Krishna is the beneficiary of all and everything. He's not only a controller, but he's also a caretaker. He doesn't only maintain us, but he also makes sure that we grow and we grow up. Right? So I was thinking of this example of this Ganga water being offered to Ganga water. So in that bhajan, it goes on and on about ಕೆರೆಯ ನೀರನ್ನು ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ ವರವ ಪಡೆದವರಂತೆ ಕಾಣಿ. So by offering wealth, for example, Krishna has given me a specific whatever, he's given me a house, he's given me money to buy bhoga, vegetables and ghee. So I take the same thing that he has given me and I offer it back to him. I offer the food, I offer the ghee, I offer the lamps, I invite his devotees home and feed them. So these are all little activities that shows to Krishna that uh, in the bhajan it says these are all activities that appears to be like I am doing something. Varava padidavarante kan. It's like you're getting such a great benefit by offering back what he is giving you. It's such a common sense to understand this. You can get everything, much more. A few months ago, I mean, a couple of years ago, I was in Vrindavan, and in Govardhan, I met like a couple of devotees, like ladies with sisters, twin sisters, identical twins. And I was doing Govardhan Parikram, and there is these, these small streets where there are these little homes. They don't even have like concrete roof and concrete houses. It's all made from mud huts. And one of these, I was doing. There was a Shiva temple there, and I stayed there for like a couple of days, and I was looking for a pot. So I went to one of these houses, and one of the sisters helped me a pot. Like I would take the pot and go and pour water on Lord Shiva and give back the pot. There was a mud pot. So like this every day, I was taking help from them, and I felt I should give something back to them. And when the days I was there for a retreat, and I didn't have much money on me, and I was just busy with the retreat all day, and then I left, and then I told them that I would like to reciprocate with them sometime. So then that day I remember I kept thinking about it, and then I got an idea. One of the sister, the lady asked me for a phone, and I really didn't have money. So then I told one of my friends who lives in Govardhan, can you please buy phones for these uh, people? Okay, sorry, little bit rewind. Okay, the story goes back a little bit. I had the last 1,000 rupees, and I went to their home the day before I left Govardhan. And when I went and I saw the sister sitting there and making rotis. And it was dark. It was around 6:30 p.m. It was kind of darkish. So I went and I gave secretly, like, because the other sister was there. I knew there are these twin sisters. So there was this lady sitting in the house making rotis. I mean, if I come to your house and you're making rotis, I'm going to assume that it's your house and therefore you're making rotis. So I assumed that that's the sister whose house it was. And I gave her this 1,000 rupees in her hand. And she looked at it, and the little girl saw me giving money to this lady. She came and said, that's not my mother. My mother is the one sitting opposite to her. And I was like, uh-oh. So I only had those 1,000 rupees. So then when I asked this devotee friend to go that same day, I didn't have to do it, but I told him, please buy 2 phones. I've got one of these simple Nokia phones that you can only call, right? It's not like a smartphone. It's just a normal phone. They didn't have phone. So then I sent this devotee. The day that the minute, that same minute, he arrives, and I was guiding him how to get to the place by WhatsApp call. I was saying, go left, go right. So finally he arrived in the house of this family. The sisters, they lived next door. And he gave the phone. And I was guiding the person on phone on one end, and my husband was meeting with a devotee on the other hand. And we were buying some electronic equipment such as hard drives and can't remember, computer stuff, expensive stuff. And I went inside the room, and my husband said, oh, you know what, Shirade, this devotee actually gave us these as a donation. He gave us it for free. I could not believe it. The same minute that I was giving a little charity of some Nokia phones to those sisters in Vrindavan, the same minute we got, I don't know how many more times, at least 10 times, at least, probably even more actually. I can't remember how much we spent, but it was like lot of money, hundreds of dollars. Okay. So this is like a personal experience that recently happened to me, and it's happened several times like that. So they say, ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ತನಗೆ ಬಚ್ಚಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಪರರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕೆಟ್ಟೆ ಎನ ಬೇಡ. Tarunirada, you understand what that means, right?
Oh my God, my mother says this so many times to us when we were growing up. So
Can you
beautiful.
translate that, please? Can you translate that for everybody?
Yeah, sure. So the way it goes is like, what, sorry, whatever you give is actually yours, and whatever you save and hide, right? It'll actually belong to somebody else. Because, say for example, you save some gold jewelry, whatever, you keep it in the safe. What happens? It's always in the safe. You just want to hide it, and you want to protect it from everybody else because you don't want them to see or take away. But then what happens? How long they're going to be here? You will die one day, and then that safe either goes to your kids, if you're not even revealed it to your kids or your relatives, right? So the bank people will, possess it. So what happens? Whatever you've hid is actually going to go for others, and whatever you actually give to people, right, around you, it belongs to you. Why? Because when you die and go, right, Krishna has this person did this charity. So never feel like whenever you give something away, you're actually at a loss. You're not at a loss. Yeah, so that's how it is.
Beautiful. Recently, I saw news of this. You might have seen, right? There was a guy. He was I don't remember, carpenter. What he was. He was breaking his old home, and he got some construction workers to break the home. And inside a wall, they found a big pot of gold. And probably the ancestor, this guy, right? And these workers, obviously, they made a deal amongst themselves, and they stole that, and then they took away, and then they were caught, and the whole story. But the point is, whoever kept that pot, it didn't even go to their family members, it went to somebody else. And Tarunirada, I remember we were discussing the other day about children, Hotel Hutit Shatru. Sometimes when we are not very generous and charitable about our time and our energy, our own children are actually born, their enemy is born as our children. And they just take and take and take, and they just run your money dry. That's what children sometimes do, and it's not by chance, it's actually a karma. So sometimes we think, I've seen even amongst certain family members, that they think that I will be peaceful if I keep all the money for myself. Even one of our relatives did that. They tried to cheat my grandfather out of the money, etc. They thought that we'll be peaceful and secure by keeping money. And all their family went through so much problems. And my grandfather didn't have much money, but he really had peace. So peace of mind is not something we can get by, um, keeping, as Taranirada was explaining. If you keep it, it's not yours. What you give, that's yours. So the calculation of giving is what is actually our treasure. That's Vedic culture. That's Bhagavad Gita. And of course, we can do charity in the mode of passion, do the charity in the mode of ignorance, and we can do charity in the mode of goodness. But when we do it for Krishna and without any other ulterior motive, that's the best. And to know that Krishna is he wants everybody's benefit, because he is the beneficiary. When we say beneficiary of all activities, yeah, but he also has a capacity to benefit everybody. That's what means beneficiary. It's not only means he's taking benefit. Like that. Something else I wanted to say about peace. Okay, in our own lives, without performing, okay, I have a quote of Srila Prabhupada. This is Bhagavad Gita. This is in connection to marriage, okay? This is Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita purport. He says, there are many purificatory processes for advancing a human being to spiritual life. The marriage ceremony, for example, is considered to be one of these sacrifices. It is called Vivaha Yagya. Okay, so the main concept here is marriage is meant to become peaceful. It's not meant to become happy. Peace not in the absolute sense, but peace in the sense that not peace, absolute peace meaning no disturbance ever, everything is going to be pakka. But peace means, okay, this is my man or this is my woman for the rest of my life, and that's it. So it brings a sense of stability, it brings a sense of peace. In the same way, charity. When we perform the purificatory process of charity, we that's why it's called purification. Marriage ceremony, it's a purification because we have done a commitment. I will stay with this person the rest of my life. It brings peace. And similarly, when we say every month, I'm going to give this percentage in charity, I'm going to dedicate this for service, it brings peace because it's in our hands to find that peace. So we can only be, to the degree that we have faith, we can be that peace, that much peaceful. So small things like charity, or big things like a commitment in relationship, it is not meant for immediate happiness. It's not meant for immediate pleasure. It's actually meant for peace. And peace is a very, it's a term that can be described. It's very relative, okay? It's very relative, depending on our priorities, depending on our values, what brings us peace. So these are some points. If you have any questions or comments or clarification, if you want to read something from Srila Prabhupada, that's actually the last verse of the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that verse of Bhaktaram Kitapasam. Vedam. And we can discuss a lot just on this verse, like we see this word, right? So Bhaktaram is beneficiary. Suhridam means benefactor, right? That gives us the faith, and then the next level of dedicating that. And then comes Shanti Mrichati. Then how we can achieve that peace is by following those steps. We can, and what does it mean, relief from material pangs? It means that Nanu Nannadu Yamba Narakadolage Bidu Gati when we become dasanu dasa, when we have that consciousness that I'm the servant of my Guru Maharaj, I'm the servant of the Parampara, then there is peace, because it's not anymore about proving myself to anybody. I'm an instrument. I belong to the Lord, So then we become free from expectations, and that's what gives us freedom from material pangs. So by having faith that Krishna has got my back, Krishna is my best friend, he's my benefactor, and I will give back to him what he has given to me, it brings a lot of peace. Okay, any comments?
As soon as we try to endeavor to get or want, to fulfill something, that time we lose the peace. This is something which I've noticed. So endeavor should be there, but then to keep that endeavor with the aligned with the will of Krishna, that's like very what do you say? That's very tricky. So because when we are and if without endeavor, we cannot exist in this world. There is endeavor for everything, even for like cooking or like getting work done. Everything there is endeavor, there is effort. But then if something doesn't happen, trying to like go for it. Sometimes you think that you're being just persistent, and you're just standing, sticking to your ground, right? And then it can also seem like you're going against Krishna as well. And sometimes you can just give up, but then that might not be Krishna's will. Krishna might say, his will might be like, just be persistent, and then this will see the light, whatever endeavor you're doing. So sometimes to understand, should you persist, and then you'll be losing your peace of mind at that time, or should you just give up and then probably have peace of mind, but not aligned to Krishna as well? So this is something which I've noticed a couple of times. So I'd like you to comment on this, Mataji.
It's not easy to know what Krishna wants. It's a practice, it's a process. It's not a product. Oh, this is what Krishna wants me to do. We can think, convince ourselves, but we wouldn't know. So in our own lives, there will be challenges. In our relationships, in our careers, in financial situation, there will be challenges. So there are Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamogun way of seeing things. In Tamoguna, we may see the challenges as, oh my God, this is the end of the world, and I don't like how I'm being treated, and we get into depression. In Rajaguna, we try to like prove something, or we say, I'm going to try to prove myself. I'm going to find security in this world somehow or another, like that. So we go in a passionate mood of relying on our self-will. And in the mode of Sattva, we think like that. How we think, how can I use my challenges, my joys, my struggles, and the happy moments, how I can use this to come closer to Krishna. So a devotee has that attitude. So the point is not so much about, oh, I didn't get my way with my husband, how do I get it? Or should I just give up and let him have his way? Okay, that's one superficial level, but the deeper purpose is, how can I use this particular challenge that I'm facing, the struggle I'm feeling and experiencing, how can I come closer to Krishna with this? This is a devotee. So a devotee finds peace not in trying to get it our way, which is passion. A devotee doesn't try to go into tamas guna feeling fear of the world, but thinks, how can I come closer to Krishna? How I can use this situation and opportunity to come closer to Krishna? So that's a deeper question. So if we ask the right questions when we are struggling, when things don't go our way, I don't know if I understood your question correctly, if it's only about when things are not working out the way we want, or it could also be a project, a service that we wanted to perform, but there were obstacles, and we're thinking, why? I was trying to serve Krishna. Why these obstacles are coming? Again, we can take the opportunity to come closer to Krishna through that challenge. I'm not sure if this answer is relevant. Let's discuss.
That's very nice. Thank you so much. It does clear, like, what is really relevant in devotee's life is to keep on asking questions and then not forgetting Krishna. That was so beautiful. Thank you.
That's a connection, right? The Krishna connection. Finding that Krishna connection in, even if I'm happy, I try to see how I can use this happiness to come closer to Krishna. How can I thank Krishna for that? Not only, of course, Kunti Devi says, let calamities come, because we'll remember you, we'll call you, we'll pray to you. With sincere heart, with a desperation, we'll call you, and Krishna, you will come. So Kunti Devi says, please put me in difficulty, because that's when I'll remember you. Yet we are usually thinking that, no, that's going to disturb my peace. I don't want difficulties. But the point of Kunti Devi was not the difficulty. See what I mean? And it is not, she's attached to difficulty. She's not some sort of a self-punishing, I don't know what you call them, those who torture themselves, she was not that kind of psychologically sick. It's just that she was so eager to come closer to Krishna. And her experience was difficulties brought her closer to Krishna. So she said, please give me difficulties because that brought you closer to us and it brought me closer to you. So that's the point for us also. In every situation, we should see how I can come closer to Krishna. If anything, even it may appear pure devotional service, but it's actually taking us away from Krishna, it's a risk, it's a danger, it's a red flag. But if even the closest devotees abandon us or hurt us or something happens to us that is unfair, but actually it's bringing us closer to Krishna, there's a blessing. Even recently, I had some situation in life, some devotees turned against us and like attacked us, etc., etc. Attack meaning like attack, also physical attacks. And in the moment, I was feeling really hurt. It's like, how can our own family, spiritual family, do that? But then I actually started taking shelter more of the holy name. And because of that, I started chanting more. And then I thought, wow, this is one of the best things that happened in my life because it brought me closer to Krishna. See, we are all not Kunti Devis. So not all difficulties will guaranteed bring us closer to Krishna. So please don't leave from this class and say Radha Govinda Mataji said that we should put ourselves in difficult situations because we will come closer to Krishna. It's not like that. It's not a guarantee that we will come closer with difficulties. But my point is, whatever is thrown at us, whatever is given to us, challenges and joys and struggles and celebrations and disappointments, whatever is given, the goal, the sole purpose is Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Sufridam Sarva Bhutanam Yatvamam Shantimicca. Krishna. The peace formula is to believe in Krishna, is to have faith in Krishna, is to do things for Krishna, and to find peace with our circumstance in relation to Krishna. The goal is Krishna. So if I can put Krishna in the center, the most traumatic situation can become the most transformational phase of my life. And if I don't put Krishna in the happiest moments of my life, just nothing but a bubble in the water. So what? You're married. Okay, so what? You have kids. So what? We don't put Krishna in the center. All these things are going to like literally like bubbles go away. But what's going to stay is my connection to Krishna. And what's not going to stay is my battery. So I need to put my computer to charge. If anybody else has any questions or comments, meanwhile.
I can just say something. It's not a question, it's a comment. And maybe it's something which I learned from what you just said is regards with my situations at the moment. I have a son who has autism, and it's really very difficult to like he talks a lot, but it's like it's really very difficult for him to communicate his needs to us. And like he is facing a lot of challenges, and as the parents, like I know that he has got stomach ulcer and high acidity, reflux, and all these physical issues on the top of the autism. So that because of the autism, he's not able to communicate that this is what is happening in his body, and that's why it is difficult to give him medications. And if you give him like wrong kind of, because sometimes he might have maybe a tummy ache, like he's got pain or something, and we give him maybe medication for the acidity, then it would not even work properly. So these are the difficult such situations, and sometimes it just gets really very hyper because that we are unable to understand that what he is trying to say. And in this sort of time, I generally I pray to Krishna really very like begging to Krishna to give me guidance to understand his needs. And yeah, sometimes you just get some inner feelings on how to deal with the situation, and yeah, then you just feel that Krishna's help in the situation. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wanted
So
to-
you're sharing that you do
in
feel that Krishna is helping you, right? When you're praying, you feel his support. That's what you're saying, right?
yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, and it's so, I'm feeling so proud of you that you're a mother who is so understanding and you're doing the right next step. What's the right next step? To pray to the Lord to give us the intelligence to handle this difficulty, because he's the benefactor. If he has given the situation, it's because he wants us to grow up. If he has given the situation, he knows we can handle it. If he has given the situation, he knows that there's a benefit behind that challenge. Otherwise, Krishna will not do it. Krishna is he's not like a punishing God, you know. He's actually a very kind, loving God. The pains that we bring it upon ourselves is our own expectations.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
And what, when you were sharing, I was also thinking similar like experience I had, that the more I was put in a helpless situation and I didn't have any human beings to go and approach to get shelter, the intensity with which we pray, it gets so strong. Sometimes we are surprised that, wow, I'm able to do this. I'm able to chant so much. I'm able to like take shelter in this way. I didn't know I was capable of that. And as long as we have bamboo sticks we can hold on to try to stay afloat, we'll never learn to swim. But the minute that, those bamboo sticks are taken away, loved ones may disappoint us. Situations may not work out the way we want. Relationships we may lose friendships or whatever. Then we are there like, to learn to float, or you need to learn to swim. And then we become strong, right? We become stronger. So Krishna is making you strong, Pragya Mataji. He's making you very strong person. And strength is not something external. It's not about controlling situation and make people do what you want. Strength is something inside. That ability to say, Krishna is with me and he can give me the strength. I'm going to derive the strength through the prayers. There's nobody more powerful than you in that phase where you connect with that internal strength from Paramatma who is in your heart. They say, right, faith can move mountains, and it's literally can move mountains.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Anything else? Okay, if nobody has any other questions or comments, we can end here. And if you can, read this purport again and try to journal what peace means to you in this particular phase of life. What would peace mean to you? And what areas of your life do you need to make peace with? And what kind of austerities and tapasya and charity you can do in order to please the Lord in this Purushottam month. It's his month, Purushottama's month. So what you can do. I do have a suggestion to all of you who are here today, Pragya Mataji, Taruni Radha, Rukmini Priya, Kulavati Krishna Priya, and Nitya Kishori. I would like to organize a few topics. I will send it in the group, and I'd like each of you to come forward to give a talk about it. It's a great opportunity. One of the greatest charity you can give is knowledge, is sharing your realization. So I have organized something like this for Russian groups, and every day we are having like a schedule and different Matajis. Most of them are giving 90%, 99% of them are giving class for the first time. So they've taken this up as a challenge for Purushottam month. There's a pastime and the anartha connected to that particular pastime. And you can select whatever pastime you want. And you need to like do a little research and give like a 15-20 minute presentation. Like presentation means just share whatever you research and then take some questions. It will be only for Matajis. So it will be only for our group. So can I have volunteers? Anybody has any particular pastime that you'd like to prepare? It's a great opportunity. I will be presenting 2 topics for Russians, but I was thinking we need to have our English. Why I'm not doing for English? I'm doing only Russian. So my dear Vaishnavi friends, let's do this in Purushottam month. I'll put it in the group, the topics. Basically, it will be pastimes of Putana, being killed, Trinavarta, and Vyomasura, Shakatasura. There will be a few demons and the anartha connected to that particular demon. And you would have to do a research about the pastime, narrate the pastime, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives a specific anartha that's connected to the pastime. So it's a very casual kind of a discussion like this. And I'd like to start on Friday, which is actually our emotional sobriety meetings. But we are going to have for the next couple of weeks, every meeting that we're going to have is going to be this topic. And we can have 2 speakers per meeting, per day, like per session. And I am excited. And I am personally available to each of you if you need help or anything. We'll be supporting. So you can consider this as an opportunity of great service. This comes only once in 4 years, an opportunity for you to share, open your heart and share your realization. And also, it's a great training ground for you to learn to give classes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I think it's a really great idea. And I can take a Putna pastime, prepare for Putna pastime.
Best one. Great. Good luck. So Nitya Kishori, I'm going to write down, I'm going to have the names here and we'll announce. You should be like Nitya Kishori. Take up the pastime that you really want to work on. So you can start your research, Nitya Kishori. So Friday, okay? And then coming Friday will be your presentation, 6:30 India time. Is that okay for you? Or you would like to do it in a different time?
6:30 India time, morning or evening, Mataji?
I can't hear you. Sorry.
I'm saying 6:30, it will be AM or PM?
It's 6:30 p.m. India time.
Okay.
What time is it, Taruni Radha? I don't know which part of US are you in?
So it will be 7 AM for me, Mataji. I'm in Denver, Mountain Time Zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's possible, right?
Yes, Mataji, I'll do my morning cooking early.
Yes.
So
Wow.
it will be
look forward
15.
to Nitya Kishori.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, Taruni Radha will do Kaliya Krishna Leela. Wow, the break dance of Krishna.
So it's 9 a.m. EST, same time that we join on Friday. I need to join, correct, Matsu?
Yes. Yes. The same time as today, basically. So Taruni and Nitya Kishori will go on that day, okay, Friday. And we have Kulavati. She would like to Govardhan Leela. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, wow.
So actually we could cover, no, it's better to have proper time. So it will be like, we'll take it like almost like 1.5 hour, 45 minutes each of you will have, okay? Nitya Kishori and Taruni Radha both will have 45 minutes. And Kulavati, you
Okay.
can do it on Sunday, if Sunday works for you. Okay. And Pragya Mataji or Rukmini Priya, any particular favorite topics that you would like to take up?
What are the topics, Mataji? You can choose for me.
Okay. I can give you options. I can tell you right now. So there is Trinavarta, there is Vyomasura, there is Shakatasura, there is I said already. Shakatasura. There is also, of course, that comes in Damodar Leela, Nalakuvara and Maligriva. There is Vatsasura, there is Bakasura, there is Aghasura,
I can do
Dhenukasura.
Bakasura. Bakasura.
Bakasura. Okay. Bakasura would be Rukmini Priya. Okay. And you can do your research to see which anartha is connected to this pastime.
Yes.
Bakasura, for example, it's connected to cunning, duplicity, deceptiveness, and false types of behaviors. That's the anartha connected with Bakasura. And Kulavati, if you can cover Brahma Vimohan Leela and deliverance of Nalakuvara along in the Govardhan Leela, that would be fantastic. Okay.
I
And
will think about it.
okay, Pragya, you take your time. There is Pralambasura, there is the forest fire, and there is Shankachuda, Arishtasura. There's so many demons. Keshi, Vyomasura, Trinavarta.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, I am here to help any of you anytime you need. Okay, you can connect with me on WhatsApp and we can have a call. If you like, I think that's a good idea. We can have like a session on tips, how to give class, what are the elements, how to add. I can give a short class on that.
Yeah, I think that will be better. So then we have some idea on how to base our presentation.
Okay. Would tomorrow or the day after? I am available. If any of you want, you contact me, 2 or 3 of you together, we can do it. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I am excited. And I'm going to put more the Leelas, and I'll ask if other volunteers want to come up. And if we do have many volunteers, I suggest we do it every day, like schedule it. From Friday we start, then we can do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We can do whole Purushottam, depending on how many people will sign up. Because there's so many pastimes, and each of you can meditate on this, and it will be super fantastic. And I will fill in those, whichever pastime is not taken, I can fill that in. Like, and I'm doing Rukmini, kidnapping of Rukmini, and I'm doing also Gopi Gita for the Russians. So I'll prepare for that, and I'll do that in English. So those 2 topics, and any other Leelas which is left off also I can. Okay, Purushottam month ki jai.
Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Bye.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, all of you. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Very bold.
Thank you. See you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you so much.